Well, I spent, 2 or 3 days working on the quarter panel, and it is close. It's not right yet. I just wanted to get some primer on it because I kept running into problems with the humidity level and the body color sticking to the metal, so I had to start working the day, come out here about 10 o'clock in the morning. Like this morning when I got out here, I think the temperature was around 85 with 50 something percent humidity. Now we're at 97 degrees with 49% humidity. And the closer towards the evening it gets, usually about 8 o'clock is when the numbers start getting close together. And I was told recently that when the numbers are close together, that's when the metal starts sweating more, because the metal actually gets colder than the air temperature. And that metal sweating causes condensation and things won't stick, and even though you can't see it, there's flash rust on it. So, sad to say, I had to take a lot of the white epoxy off of this on areas that was down to bare metal before. I put black epoxy on it right before I went to SEMA last year, and it was sticking. I didn't have any problem with it, but I've got 5 coats of primer back here in my, what I call problem areas. That's where I put on the lower quarter panel patches. And the back right here, it was kind of rough and beat up. I had to hammer and dolly it the best I could. And it's still got a couple of little high spots. There's one right there. I don't know if the camera picks it up. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. A couple of little ones up higher. But like I said, I wanted to get primer on it. I went around and took some 180 grit and sanded all the bare metal areas by hand real well right before I primed it. Cleaned it with wax and grease remover. Come out here and I've got approximately 5 coats of primer in my problem areas right there and on this area. I had to work a while on this body line. I'm still not happy with it. As you can see, I got some little sags there, but I wanted to make sure I had enough primer on this. And I've got, I believe, water bubbles there. Forgot to put my little orange water filter on my primer gun before I started priming. Luckily, that's the only spot, but the rest of the quarter panel is really straight. It blocked out good with 180 grit on the orbital airfoil, just on the epoxy. And I didn't even break through the epoxy back here. All this area right through here, and up through there, and the top. And a while back I went ahead and had some, the lead had a little bit of rust underneath the edges of it. I sanded it down to where we were into clean metal and put epoxy over that. And that's what the white epoxy is up there. And then I did some body filler, then put some more white epoxy over it. And I blocked that to 180 and I put this black Tamco 5311 primer on it. So, also I got all the door jamb area done. I don't know if you can see much about it, but this rocker panel I've talked before, we had to replace it because this car was hit somewhere on this side and it bowed the floor pan. The floor pan was also rusted. That's the main reason why we changed it. It twisted the lower part of the A-post there. I replaced that with a part from the 75. But whenever it hit all this, it actually buckled up the quarter panel right here, pushed this part in quite a bit, so I had to cut a piece out of the 75, and it was rusted out bad down here, but I got up into good metal, so I was right about here, which is about probably 8 inches up from the bottom of the rocker panel. I went in about 10 inches, and then all the way up right below that body line, right there. Right about there is where I got it welded in. And what I did to try to make sure everything matched, I cut out part of the door jamb, and I trimmed it, back up the camera, I trimmed it right across the edge where that funny little body line is. And now I just laid it right over the top. I cut out the old one right in the groove there, And then when I laid this one on there, I didn't have anything back here prohibiting it and making it bulge out. The only difference in the thickness of metal was right here. It was laid over a little bit, but I tack welded that in, and then I butt welded all this up here, and I got that level. So anyway, got that done. Kim, we are definitely going to need more primer because those 2 gallons of black primer I bought was doing inside of this trunk, underneath the bottom of the trunk, and the top and the bottom side of the hood, and then all this quarter panel and the door jamb. And I've done part of the A-post up there too, all that where the door hinges or the hood hinges go. I have a half a gallon of primer left. Now, as you can see, we still got a lot left to do. There is the cowl panel, the roof, the deck lid. The bottom side of the deck lid only has epoxy on it. It needs primer on it. I still have to primer all this part of the door jamb or the trunk jamb, and I've got to do all of this side. So I'll just ask you what we can do. I'm hoping 2 more gallons will be enough, but if it's easier to have your mother-in-law just order 3 gallons, and if I don't use the third, I'll pay you back and I'll just use it on my car. You just let me know what you want to do. But I just want to make sure we got enough and we get the car straight and get it looking good for when we paint it. So that's it for today. I'm done, ain't gonna do anything else. I've been out here since about 7:30 this morning. I think it's about 3:30 or 4 o'clock now. So thanks for watching. As always, give a thumbs up, like the channel, subscribe, and share with your friends. Appreciate it.